George Mallory came here 3 times and died. And oddly enough, this is my 3rd time in Everest. And although I wanted to come and find out what happened to Mallory, part of me was really scared about coming this time. Everest is a very dangerous place. George Mallory came here to make his name, and he did. But, I've got more in my life. And I'd rather go home.
Since 1924, over 160 climbers have died high on the slopes of Everest. Their bodies still lie on the mountain, an average of 1 in every 6 who attempt the summit. The climbing team are well aware of the risks involved, and as the search day gets closer, their planning becomes more detailed.
Locating the camp is purely a help. A reference, to find a reference point from where to start the search for the body. The search for the body is the main objective.
I think the other reference then has to be that the body's been there at least 50 years. And so no need to look where that slope gets steeper because it'd be slid off.
Yeah.
Right there.
If you found the body in
8,150 meters, it does an avalanche.
Yeah. If it's there, then we put enough people up there, and we've got any energy left. I think we should find it.
This year of any years, I think the body should be exposed, judging on what we found already. There's just not much snow up there.
Doing our grid is perhaps go all the way up to our high point, have some tea, and then organize how we're going to do it, and then go downhill. Because if we're going to try to search going uphill, it's going to be a little bit more futile than if we were going downhill, because we'll be preoccupied with...
My thinking has always been that we're going to end up searching horizontally, because going up and down there, you just run into these little ledge systems all the time, hitting them at the wrong angle.
At the end of April, the climbers move up towards Camp 4 once again. But this time, it's in preparation for the search for the body and the camera on the north face.
Some members of our expedition team may have some personal reservations about searching for bodies on Mount Everest. I think we all agree that to be able to contribute additional information to what is the mystery of the mountain is ultimately going to contribute to a better understanding of the mountain and its human history. I think we all think that if we can do a good job at it, it'll stand up to scrutiny. This next week we move up for our 3rd foray onto the mountain. The team members now are beginning to get well acclimatized. We've established our Camp 5 at 7,800 meters. We hope to spend some time in the search area and also to establish our Camp 6.
We're somewhere in the neighborhood of 25,000. You would think this is about time and how much time you got. It's not about that. You might think it's about calories and how many calories you're gonna burn. It's about water. Man, this air sucks the water out of you. And it's trying to maintain enough water and make up enough to replace what you've lost over the course of the day. And it's a fair struggle, just getting the water in and not losing too much. Setting a pace that won't blow off too much water either.
You got kind of 2 questions in my mind is, can I handle it mentally, because it's so slow, and physically, it's a long day, but it's nothing out of the ordinary. It is slow, and you move so slow in that kind of terrain based on your expectations. And if I can just drop the expectations and the desire to be able to move faster, then man, it's so much better. Believe it or not, at Camp 5. And I'll tell you, I had a hard day getting here. But I want to make sure this stuff works right. Got a regulator, valve. It's under 3,000 PSI, so it comes out hard. And then gently, gently, gently. This is no muscle man job. We slip on the regulator. I can turn this on. So all that pressure of 3,000 PSI is being regulated down to a breathing rate here. I stick this on, the hose, and take my mask on, and I'm about to, this will keep me sleeping comfortable. My legs are gonna recover quicker, and all in all, I'm gonna feel a lot better. I know this, but I put my overboot on wrong again. 25,200 feet. The red on the outside, it's not that hard to remember. But these are the kind of basic decisions that you're fighting with. It's a different world up here. And if I can just get on my feet.
Putting your crampons on and your harness.
Now I gotta get my lipstick on. Every time I tie my shoe, I split my finger open a little bit more. These aren't big hurdles, but they're the little things that kind of are making it hard to get out of tent. We're heading up, see what we can find, and it's kind of being motivated by a massive rainfall in the Indian Ocean that could potentially be the monsoon starting, as well as there are quite a few folks in other expeditions that would love to scoop us on this thing and find us. And the search site is not too far from high camp, so for that reason, with dry conditions, we think it's worth the gamble.
Early on the morning of the 1st of May, 1999, the team leave Camp 5 and climb high up on the north face of Everest to begin their search. If they can only find the remains of the Chinese camp, then Andrew Irvine's body should be close by, somewhere under the fall line of his ice axe.
I was looking for an area where I'd assume that a body could rest for 75 years on 45-degree slopes that must avalanche. So I was looking primarily on benches all around the north face as we walked around, and we all tried to split up and get far enough apart that none of us were in the zone which another person could visually search in. And I was pretty much in the middle of what I thought was the search area, walking around, found some old mittens, old pieces of junk, and Andy was way up high, up in a couloir going into the yellow band, and Conrad was way down below, basically where the north face cliffs out, just under 27,000 feet. And Andy at one point yelled down on the radio, said, "Conrad, keep in mind, Wang only walked 20 minutes from Camp 6, and you're way out of that range."